Awesome.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, so here in Nairobi, obviously it's really nice to be here and connect, and I really appreciate you for taking the time.
Yes.
So can you tell us maybe a little bit about the show? And obviously I'm excited, but obviously it'd be nice to maybe learn a little bit more.
Yes, first of all, thank you guys. Sorry, I was a bit up and down, so I'm just settling in. Thank you so much for taking your time to be on the call. You're most welcome to Nairobi. I hope you have an amazing time here in Nairobi. I'm sure you've been told how exciting this city is, and I know you've been here before probably. So looking forward to creating great moments and memories here. Karibu sana.
Awesome.
I hope you guys can hear me clearly.
Yeah, no, I can hear you well. What's the agenda? What's the plan? Like a little bit about the show. Who's the audience? Because I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be powerful to collaborate and partner. Being able to use the Australian diaspora audience, because a lot of Australians, a lot of Kenyans who are in Australia, in America, all over the world, I think content is something that brings us all together. So us having our podcast and growing our podcast, I think this is a perfect timing to continue to go on other people's shows. And so I just wanted to learn a little bit more about what you guys do and how we can, make it really powerful.
Absolutely. So basically, I'm about to turn my camera on. Just give me a minute. But basically, the name of the show is After Hours on Spice. Spice FM is a station that falls under the Standard Group Media. The Standard Group Media gives a 360 angle, which has the KTN TV network. We also have the radio stations that fall under the Standard Media Group, which is Spice FM being one of them. We have a local dialect station, which is called Berun FM. We also have a Swahili station, which is called Radio Maisha. So all of these radio stations give a bit of a different background to, and then they have different listenership. So basically what we do at Spice FM, we have different shows and different segments. We have a morning show that's called The Situation Room, that is more about political issues. So people discuss about political matters. We have politicians who come on board basically to address issues that are affecting the nation in Kenya. And then we have a show the Situation Room runs from about 6 a.m. all the way to 10 a.m. And then we have another show, which is more like a mid-morning show that runs from about 10:30 a.m. to about midday. And it's hosted by Yolanda. And this is more of a casual show that just gives guys a bit of a vibe, what's happening in Nairobi, a little bit of gossip here and there, what's trending around the city of Nairobi. And then we have another show that begins in the afternoon from about 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is hosted by the legendary Edward Kwach, who's a bit unwell right now. Actually, there is medical appeal for blood donations for him, so he's not been on the show for a couple of weeks. So we are wishing him a quick recovery and just trying to support him on that. So basically, his show is all about legal matters, relationship, and all. And we have the After Hours show, which is the one that we actually host, myself, a lady called Stephanie, and Kev Matara. The show is basically just an after-hours show where we go hype. It's all about fun, excitement, entertainment, and we just are very little on politics, just to let people know on what's happening or what's a very catchy story and trending stories. More of the relaxed late-night show where we're allowed to do a little bit more of funny conversations. You can cast for half a minute. Or, just be out there and be free. It's more of a relaxed show. Yeah, so bearing in mind what you guys are doing, I think it's really amazing because we are also in the process of trying to set up a podcast outside of Spice FM. just so we can be able to build our brands as well. So our podcast is going to be called Beyond the Mic, and we have just finalized getting a location. And we should be up and rolling probably this coming Saturday to do our first recording at one of the hotels in Nairobi. Yeah, so basically that's what we do when it comes to Spice FM. In regards to the podcast and the team that we've built outside Spice FM, we are also looking forward to begin health awareness seminars, which will be run in hotels like Ole Sereni and Radisson Blue, where we'll be engaging with people and talking to them more about issues that are affecting us around the world. Suicide that has been very high, femicide, rape, mental health issues, actually. So that's basically our direction when it comes to the broadcast that we're trying to do. And we're looking forward to partnering with anyone who would like to build with us, grow with us, and also just share expertise.
So, like with the show, how do you guys make money?
So on Spice FM, of course, we have the platforms. We have the YouTube platform that runs on Spice FM, and we have the TikTok as well. But to be very frank and very honest with you, we made the station make quite a lot of money. I think last year we were on 8 million shillings. That is just revenue that has been generated from our content on After Hours. And we were like, oh, this is money that we would love to have in our pockets as well. So, some of these stations are very good platforms because they have a wider reach. But if you're able to create your own platform, then you'll be in a position to make this money as well. So we make money through the YouTube channel, and we've also made some money through the TikTok channel. But this is under Spice, so more to us.
So when you get a lot of views, because for example, I know YouTube, TikTok they may not pay that much. So is it by getting views? Is it advertisers wanting to come in to advertise?
True.
Like, where does that revenue? If one content goes viral, how do you guys? What are the exact things that you guys monetize off that?
Yes. There's definitely sponsorships and advertisements. We work with different brands, and the good thing is that we have been given the capacity to contact brands on our own and bring them on board and have a revenue share agreement with the company. For example, if Johnny Walker would like to sponsor an after-hours show because it's more like a chill show for the evening, guys are probably having a drink. If I bring Johnny Walker on the platform, then they get to bring in a certain amount of revenue, and I get a percentage from that for bringing them on board. Yeah, so the sponsorships have been good. We also have advertisements. There could be companies that just want to talk about anything that they're doing. It could be in industrial, mining, and we have their ads that run in between the show, or we do the mentions on the show and the classifieds on the show. So for every mention, we have a rate card that specifies the amount of money that is brought in through that advertisement. So that's also another way that we generate funds. Apart from YouTube and TikTok, which is also very minimal, just like you said. But it's not as minimal, because if we were able to make about 8 million shillings on a YouTube platform, I think that's a very significant amount of money.
That's pretty
just
good.
Out of views. Yeah, just out of views and shares and all that. And we have our own listenership. We have people who tap in during the After Hours show. We have people who only tap into the Situation Room. So the hosts and the guests have their own platform where they can be able to tap into their own clientele.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
I think it's pretty flexible depending on how you want to do.
Yeah, and to be honest, like
Go on.
Like I had seen the channel, but like now it's making a little bit more sense when I'm seeing some of the views. Now that makes sense on how they could, because I can see some of those numbers, how they could pay. I mean, 8 million, that's pretty good. So yeah, I guess those ways. So the reason why I'm asking those questions, because I think it's good. So obviously what does well is virality. Like, how can we make something go viral? How can we have a dope so that's why I'm no holds barred. Let's take it. This could be the next video that we say something, maybe it's about relationships, boom, that takes off, hits new audiences, and we both benefit, right? So my thinking is, how can we just make this viral? Like, again, I'm very authentic. Like, I don't really kind of make things up, but I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go in with an intention that could benefit both of us, right? We can go in there. It could be, you know, I'm young, Australian. You bring me on this, you know, it just could be something different. Bro, we can have one TikTok in that conversation that just goes off, you know what I mean? And because what we're looking to get out of this, not only is the brand awareness, right? The awareness of who we are. We're an African family, you know, here in Australia, doing what we're doing. We're running one of the biggest media companies, social media marketing companies in the world. I'm young, I'm fly, I'm cool. So, you know, I've got a young CEO. So it's more like, how can we expand our reach? But what I'm thinking is, again, like as a business person, you guys want something out of it, I want something out of it. So how can we get those desires together and make it happen for ourselves? So that's what I'm thinking. All right, okay, you just said what works well is the virality, after hours, the cool thing. We can get those sponsors from those drink companies. Okay, so if that's our vibe, then, you know, let's have a dope conversation, and something will go off. We can get some clips out of there, and then just see what takes off, and then that could lead to brand deals for us. It can lead to brand deals for you guys. It can lead to, you know, and then that's how we can. That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely, and it's very interesting because I think we perfectly align when it comes to our goals, and not only mine, also for the rest of the crew that we have. This would really be a very different dynamic, and it would be very exciting to bring in the Australian vibe to it. It could be anything. It could be Australia meets Kenya. It could be, you know, multicultural podcast, because we also have a couple of Americans who have come into the country, and we've been in communication with them and just sharing the experiences of what they're doing. And their podcasts have taken off. And right now they're already getting sponsorships for housing companies, people who are trying to sell real estate. And so it's very easy for us to get an alignment on that and begin monetizing this thing, because it's an opportunity that has fairly not been tapped into. It's quite untapped. And there's a lot that we can do together on that. And just to add on that, we already have a relationship with some of the businesses and sponsors who are very excited to begin with us and to work with us. So I think you've come at a time on the conversation. So to me, I feel like this is a blessing in disguise, and we should definitely get something rolling.
Cool. And then is there any particular topics that do very well, that do often, that you guys see, like when, you know, whether maybe it's relationships or, you know, business, what are some things that always kind of
snap? So Kenyans love to talk about trending topics. Kenyans want you to talk to them about things that are happening now. And of course, I don't know if you've heard about the Gen Z movement that we've had, the wave that has been happening with the young generation here, and the objection to so many things political. So anything that touches on politics and the economy and trending topics will definitely really, really trend.
Yeah.
So that is what we actually leverage on. We literally just write down topics, and I can tell before we post it online. I tell the producer, make sure you post that on X. Make sure you have that, because I know it's going to trend. When I wake up in the morning, we already have 260,000 views. So we know how to target that audience.
Hey, you're speaking to the choir. It's funny because, like, I've got that similar thing is when, let's say, our editing team, we're doing a clip, or even in the podcast, because usually I'm the host, in the podcast, something's happening, and I'm like, this is gonna go viral, like my arms. So even before we edit it, I'm like, boom. And like you said, usually that's the clip that usually goes on, and so you kind of have that instinct, which I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. So see, I'm down with that. You see, those, because you're right. Those Gen Z things, those are perfect topics. Like, it's controversial, you know, I'm down with that. And I think sometimes, you know, the relationship stuff as well can be in. But I think that Gen Z politics, you know, especially what's happening now, you know, we can really attract a big audience, not only from the Gen Z, but the older come together. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's so much that we need to do, man. There's so much, and it's very exciting to me. When she told me that you're doing podcasts as well, I was like, wow, this is really great, because that's the direction we want to go, and we know it's gonna blow up. And I look at all the podcasts in Kenya right now, and the content that they're bringing out there, it's nowhere half of where we can be. You know, they have some really good stuff going out there. but there needs to come with a little bit more reality. It doesn't need to be so fake and manufactured content. It just has to be real. We're having a conversation, and that's how we do it on After Hours. It's just guys chilling and having fun and having a conversation about the realest things that are happening in the world. No sugarcoating, no nothing. Just bring it out there the best way you can. And everybody has their own different kind of perspective. So it gives the listeners so much glue, and they're so attracted to what is happening because we don't all sound the same. We argue, we're like, no. We get back into the link, play some music, and we come back on the argument. So it's very catchy.
Yeah. That authenticity. I love it. Yeah. I think if you can do the podcasting well, like what we're seeing, so also what we do it is we have it ourselves and we manage other CEOs, other people's podcasts. So, we're always editing podcasts, we're, trailers and all these things. So if you can just do it well and be consistent, you can dominate the game here. Like you said, you can see a gap in the market, right? So you see the gap, man, there's no limits to where you guys can take it. And I think for you guys, again, the sponsorships is a huge thing. And continuously, how can we also, for you guys, target diaspora, right? Because those American companies will come in and pay you 5, 6, 8, they'll come and pay you to reach their people. So I think you're thinking about it at the right time. I mean, like I tell people all the time, you should have started a podcast yesterday. I can't believe the amount of people I've gone on, businesses, people, and they don't have a podcast. I get dumbfounded because you should have started one yesterday. So the fact that you're thinking about it, this is the time to go. It's the time to go now because now, I don't like to use the word. I don't like to use the word oversaturated. It's not, but obviously, people are kind of getting hip to it. But I don't know. There's just so much opportunity. So yeah, I'd definitely go for it.
Driving mode. No. What am I doing? Oh, okay. I'm back. Yeah. Sorry. I think I clicked on something here. Yeah. So we should definitely do it. We should definitely ride on this wave. As ripe as it is. I know you made a good point there. It's not oversaturated. Everybody has their own way of doing their content, and everybody has a different way of bringing, whatever they want to bring out. So it's a uniqueness that's the best seller. And actually, I wish that we should have planned this meeting properly. You should have met Stephanie, and if you'd have met one of my guys, is called Joseph. He's a DJ as well. So we give it a bit of music. We don't just yap for the whole time. We probably do a link that's around 10, 12 minutes. And then we get into a little bit of a DJ mix. We have the video showing the back of the DJ mix. And this is what we want to incorporate in our new podcast when we begin. Just to give people a little bit more hype. If it's Friday, play them some old school hip hop, something they can talk about. People can send in their requests and have some music played out. They can even meet us at venues. We can go to a club and say, okay, you guys come hang out, with the After Hours crew. We're gonna be, partying tonight at Habanos, and guys can come and chill out with us. So it becomes very exciting.
Yeah. No, that's dope. I love it. I'm excited. So, what's the plan? What are the logistics? What needs to happen from now?
Okay, so what I feel like needs to happen, we should definitely have a physical meeting. Yourself, myself, probably if you'd love to meet Stephanie and Joseph as well. He's also very good at editing and is our main DJ. And Stephanie is very brilliant when it comes to content creation. And we have one guy also called Brian, who's hosting a different show. He does a show on Sunday. We could just probably have a meeting first, sit down and then plan on what we can do with the capacity that we have. But if you want to come on the show, I can definitely book you on a show for the After Hours where you can go and have a conversation, just share your experience and, what's coming through. And I think that can also be a good start for you, just to get a feel of the studio that's there and what they do. And then, we can get on working on something personal so that we're not enriching a studio and a radio station and TV station, making them millions of shillings, we want that money too. So we need to make that money too, and we need to get our voice heard.
Yeah. So let's like actually have a plan, not to just go and do the interview. Yes, we do that, but how can we, like, what's the plan after? What can we do? How can we leverage it? So I think that could be a great meet. So do we meet before the interview booked in or after the interview?
I think we can meet before.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we can meet before. I think there's a bit of a schedule that's already been done for this coming week, I think, with a compiled number of guests. So I'm going to confirm that with the program's controller, so he can just be able to slot you in on a particular date. Of course, in the course of this week, hopefully Wednesday, Thursday. There is also another radio station that I've already built a bit of a relation with, which I can also try and get you an interview with them as well. They're very cool peeps, and you can go hang out with the crew there, you know, and probably do another interview as well.
That'd be amazing.
But before we get those dates done, before we get those dates done, we can always just, meet up and hang out, because we're having this conversation as we move on.
Cool.
We can also show you the venue where we want to do it.
Yeah.
We got two venues. One is in Nairobi West, another one is in Kajiado. It's more of a resort. And we've also been talking to the Mercedes-Benz Club of Kenya, the lounge. They also would love us to do some shoots there. And a couple of places. So we can show you maybe one or two of the locations. And if it's something that you like, we can discuss on further steps and turning the wheel.
Cool. All right, cool. I have Naomi to help me book that in, so we can book it into the calendar. We can meet, and then we book in the date for recording, because I have very limited time and a lot of interviews. So if we can also get that booking for the recording booked in, so at least I know on this date, boom, here we'll meet ourselves personally, boom, there. So and then even I can get a cameraman to come and film, because I'm vlogging my whole time here. I put it up on my YouTube, so I can have my cameraman come out and film everything. So.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Cool.
So let's try and get a date, and whenever you got some time, just let me know, because I'm pretty flexible. Actually, right now I'm in the house. I was working early in the morning. I just came back, so I'm pretty flexible when it comes to meeting, and I'm sure the rest of the crew is as well. They have businesses up and down, but they can handle some businesses on the phone. So we can just have a sit down, probably some lunch or a drink, and we can talk about this and just split the ideas, and then we can start. Cool. We are ready to go.
Cool. Perfect. I'll have Naomi communicate with you the times and stuff like that, because she has access to my calendar, and then we'll go from there.
Sure.
Cool.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Thanks, Naomi.
All right, it was real. Thanks so much, Naomi, as well, for setting this up. I appreciate it so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, JP. Thank you so much.
All right. Have a nice one.
You too. Amazing. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Naomi.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Hi.
What do you think?
Recording stopped.
Perfect?
Yeah. Perfect. So, and then your time, you have very limited time, but anyway, we'll plan. It's good. I'm loving this because you're going to be very busy. You're going to have so much content. So, to say the truth, these are big people in the media, so that will attract Kenyan media. Yeah, JP is a known, media personality. The lady she has mentioned, what is her name? I don't remember her name, but they are, Spice FM. Young people listen to that. So, but now I have a problem.
What?
When it comes to Gen Z, so what do you think? What will you talk